right here it's buckling. So what's right there? That thing is right there. Because this is a spacer, and this gear has a spacer built in. The next problem is going to be the other spacer. Just looking at where the spacer height is, it's below the surface, so it'll clear. So this gear has the spacer built in, so that's why you can't use it twice. Stock one, there's a spacer in there. We have that V-twin kit in there, so that's why it didn't work. Yeah, it lines up a lot better this time. Remember, no spacer in the circuit breaker. Get the gasket out of the way. There's the screws over here. Get your screws all started before you tighten anything down, because of the tear the gasket up. You have to put all the screws in there, but get a few of them in there. Okay, everything looks pretty good. Now let's see how far it goes down. I'm not getting any wobble in the cam cover. It's pretty much where it wants to be. There's not a lot of movement in it, which is what I wanted. That's why I did that cam like that, so it's a pretty tight fit. All the way down now. So the cover goes right back to where you push on it. See, look at the surface right here as I push it away. It wants to sit right now one spot, it centers back up. We haven't got the screws down yet. That is just the cam and the circuit breaker, an idler stud are dictating where this is sitting right now. There's not a lot of movement in there. So the cam is basically a big dowel pin, because it's tight as hell in there right now. This is what I wanted. So everything's working just like I want it to be. It lines up pretty good. Now these dowels here are going to have to be re-punched. That's not dowel. This one's a dowel. There's a dowel here, and this one's a dowel. These have to be recut on center what's underneath. The dowel in the case is what's going to stay the same. The one in the cover we're going to change. We're going to bore it oversize and have a step dowel. So we have a small going into here and big out on the top. Because right now the factory dowel is not doweling. It's kind of loose. But see, when you get down in the case, it gets tight. So, but I think they were not even fit in the case very well too. This one, see, that hole's off pretty far. I don't know if you can see how far off that is. It's off pretty far. See, the shoulder right there is visible, but over here there's no shoulder on the other side. That means it's way off the center. So the two holes are basically, instead of being lined up where they go in, there's one's over here like this, or it's like this. It doesn't line up. So this one's way off. This one here looks pretty close. This one's not too bad. This one's way the hell off. Now which one did they bore way out? They bored one of these way the hell bigger than the other. And they're both loose as hell, but this one's definitely looser. Probably why it looks better. See, that one's tighter than this one. See the difference? So if you measure it, This hole is 377-ish. I'll just measure. 367. Huh? This one's tighter. 372. 380. This one felt tighter, but it's 10 thou smaller than that one. So that means they're tapered. Because I'm measuring at the bottom. I'm measuring down in the hole. So this hole's tapered probably. 360. There's 380. 395. It's got 15 thou taper in it. So it wasn't made very well. So whoever did this job, they did a very bad job. Maybe that's why this new motor only lasted 200 miles. Everything about it's made wrong. And if you watch the series, you'd see that. Alright, so these dowels are way the hell off, which is expected. I figured it was going to be that way. So I got to make a decision on how I want to do this. I'd rather have the cam gear in there correctly before I did all this the other way. Technically, I can do the dowels right now. Pretty easy. Because we're getting a pretty good dowel from that cam. So I can take this to my milling machine, tighten it all down, indicate off of the hole where it's at, pull that up, put all the cam stuff in there, put the cover down just like I did now, and then punch that hole on the same center that's underneath. And I would bore it to the size until it's clean, and I'll make a step pin for it and we're done. The problem is I don't have the pinion gear in here yet. We haven't done that yet. So at this point, this is all locked in pretty good. I think it's pretty close because there's no clearance in anything. Hopefully it's all pretty close. We don't know that. We're just hoping it is, really. There's no guarantee that it is. We have clearance in our circuit breakers and our idler gears. They rotate just fine. How's our breather? Breather has in play. The cam is tight, so we know it ain't going to rotate, but it's in there. So right now I got everything we need to do more work. So I need to line ream that big ass bushing in there. So tomorrow I'm going to have to go in there and figure out what we're going to do here. So I got my new reamers I got, and I got the old reamers. And I forget the diameter of that shaft right now. And I'll use the caliper. It's easier, quicker. 5/8. Nope. 687, so 11/16. So 13/16 is the cam, which we're not doing yet. 11/16 is the other one. Here's the early cam, 13/16. There's two different reamers here. One's fixed and one's adjustable. 9/16 is late shaft. There's a Jim's pinion bushing, late one. Here's 11/16, which is what we're looking for. And these ones over here are other things. Yep. Now we have to have a bushing that fits into the case. That's that one. So that's the adapter. Now we have to have a reamer that fits tight in this hole. And it needs to be 11/16, which is this one. That's the adjustable 11. These are 13/13s. This one looks like 11/16, so it's small. This one says 13/16, so that's cam. So these are all cam bushings. cam reamers. So this is the one we got to deal with. So these are our two that we have here. This is the new one, this is my old one. And the problem with it is these things don't fit. So here's my reamer. There's my adapter, and these are not compatible with each other. See, they don't fit. They don't match up. So we gotta look for a different bushing or a different reamer. This reamer here, pull this one on, this one fell off. Yeah. We need the other end. That's why you have a soft floor. It just grazed my foot as it went down. There's the reamer, there's the cap for it. Okay. Now this reamer here, see how small it is? Yeah, we have our bushing side here we need. Just make sure that fits. That appears to be the right size. Okay, that works. That's a plus. The disadvantage is it has a screw that sticks way out. We have very low clearance. So the distance between the top of the screw and the first flute is how far that bushing will cut. If it doesn't cut deep enough, we'll have a problem. This is the second reamer because the first one that stuck up twice as much as that. Did not help me. Okay, so this here is 5/86. And this hole size is 5/73. So the difference between 86 and 73 is 10 thou. I got 10 thou to take this down, and this whole thing becomes a pilot off of this bushing, and now that becomes my new tool for early motors. So that'd be the 54 and earlier. So I have to turn this down here, down to that, and make this cut this off, make it a 1/2 inch drive down here, and we'll be good. And this is at 5/86, so yeah, I'll just turn it down to a 1/2 inch somewhere in there. So I have to make these two pieces work together. So that'll require a little bit of machining. Otherwise I need a different bushing that's made correctly for the other reamer, which I didn't have, as I recall. Here's another bushing I made. It's for a Sportster, so it doesn't fit. It's too big. But you see it has the same hole size. 73, yep. The reason I know that is because this is a Sportster part, Sportster tool. One of them. Alright, this is our normal big twin tool, but see it's made for late cases, 58 and later. This is going to be made for 57 earlier because 57 is when they had the small bearing like that. We had a Sportster bearing in the bike. So this reamer will work on 57 and earlier when we're done. Earlier will be 36. Alright, so I got to turn this down. So I'm going to chuck this up in the lathe, cut this off, put a center in it. Probably put the center, I can figure out how I want to do that. I'll probably cut that off first. This is going to be hardened down in here. It'll get softer somewhere through here. I don't need all this length, but we'll figure out where it's soft at here and cut it off. Get rid of this piece. Because it'll be hard to chuck this in a drill motor without sticking through, so we'll just cut it off with a chop saw. Turn this thing down, then I cut the whole thing all the way up to here, 10 thou smaller, and that'll fit in my bushing. Then I can ream that hole. Then I can take it apart, put it back on the motor, put it all back together, see how it fits, and see if I like it. And I'll probably just put the case in the milling machine and do the dowel pin at that time. That's probably what I'll do, but I'll put it together first to see how it works after I ream it. See if I like it. If everything looks good, then I'll go with that. then we'll go with it. If I don't like it, I'll have to play with that. We will know more about that tomorrow. So we got a couple days of work here playing with Harley parts. Get to make new tools. So there you go. Alright, we'll be back later.